Alright, welcome back. So it's been a little while. I've been on kind of a once a week type upload schedule, at least that's what I was aiming for at least. But last week I didn't upload anything because I was doing a little vacationing. And you might think like if I'm on a vacation I'm going to be doing something other than fishing because that's kind of what I do for work typically, or for the channel. But I'm still fishing. I just left all the cameras at home. So went on a little trip down to Mexico, caught a ton of tuna. The tuna fishing was kind of wide open. It was a little bittersweet that I wasn't able to share it with all of you because I think it would have made a cool video. But every once in a while I like to leave the cameras at home and just kind of go fishing, just hang out. Here's a couple pictures, and we also caught some Dorado and some other miscellaneous stuff, but the tuna was like the main focus of the trip. So anyways, that was a fun trip, but now we're back. I actually just filmed a video. I wanted to kind of introduce it to all of you. I wanted to do, so I have been doing some more commercial fishing videos, kind of just videos revolving around the commercial fishing and kind of some of the financial stuff, some of the back end stuff. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of like my yearly review. Season's kind of winding down. I'm not a full-time commercial fisherman, so take it with a grain of salt. But at the end of this video, I'll talk a little bit about the financials. But first, I'm going to go out on a little trip. I think this is going to be my last commercial fishing video of the year. I'm not really sure. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, let's just get right into the fishing. Well, already not quite going as planned. The first original spot where I wanted to go, they had this big like construction thing going on. So the whole like launch area where I normally unload my kayak and then bring it down to the water was all closed off, so I couldn't go there. So I had to audible to a new launch where I'm at now, and now we're finally out on the water a little bit later than we anticipated, but we're finally out here. So we're gonna try and see if we can find some fish. Like I said, this was not the original plan to come here, so I don't know if there's gonna be fish here or not, but there's only one way to find out. And we got a very bright, sunny morning, but also a little bit chilly. It's getting a little bit closer towards those winter months. The days are getting shorter, the air's getting cooler, the water's getting cooler. And what that means is the halibut bite tends to slow, kind of taper off towards as we get into the winter months. So definitely not going to be as easy to catch them as it was, say 3 or 4 months ago, but still can catch them nonetheless. And as we talk about colder weather, colder water, colder air, I'm getting a little bit cold myself. That's a perfect segue into the sponsor of today's video, which is iHood. So you see this stylish black jacket that I have on here. That was provided by iHood. Not only are they, warm because the jacket itself is warm, they also add a second layer of warmth, and that is the heated inserts that they have inside these jackets. There's a battery right here, and so what that battery does is it powers these heated inserts, and it's all controlled by this little control panel right here. So if we turn this on, that's a little hard to see because it's so bright, but that's on, it's lit up, that one's on. We'll turn all 3 of them on. So there's 2 heating elements in the front, 3 in the back, and then 1 in the neck here. So we got them all powered on, nice and hot. There's 3 different settings. There's cool, or low, medium, and high. And we're gonna put them all to full blast for this morning, keep them nice and warm. The iHood jacket can heat anywhere from 122 to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. It's waterproof, has multiple pockets, and is machine washable. It's great for your next fishing adventure. And if you're interested in getting one of these heated jackets, they also have heated vests, by the way, so if vests are your thing, they got you covered. But various different colors, shapes, and sizes. And if you're interested in buying one for yourself, I have a promo code. I'll leave it linked in the description below. Give yourself 10% off that order. So thank you again to iHood for sponsoring today's video. Now let's see if we can find some fish. All right, 8:30, line's in. Now we start scanning around, see if we can find where these fish are hiding. All right, well, here's the deal. Just trolled for about an hour, no bites. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a move. I mean, I can't run
a long ways in a kayak, but I'm gonna kayak about a mile this way and then redeploy the lines and see if there's any better action out there. I'm marking a lot of bait, seeing it flicker on the surface, seeing it on the fish finder, and I'm marking what seems like it could be fish down there, but nothing as far as halibut goes yet. So make a little bit of a move, see if it improves our luck here. Fish? No. Yep, not a halibut. Rockfish. Unfortunately right now, well, we wouldn't keep them anyways, but if you wanted to target these, there's no near shore rock fishing right now, so basically out of reach for kayak anglers, unfortunately. Alright, fish number one to start. It's still lots of bait around. I mean, the water's colder than it was before, but still not that cold. It's still warm enough for these fish should be eating still. So we're gonna keep at it. Definitely not giving in just yet. Oh man, tough day so far. Last time I cooked up a couple of these mackerel and man were they good, so I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. So the most important thing with the mackerel is to take care of them. So I gut and gilled that other one right away. Just make sure, get it right on ice immediately. And I think we got another one here. Oh no, this one's smelt. This one not as good eating. Get more mackerel, we'll keep those, but smelt, not so much. Can be good for bait, but not that great for eating in my humble opinion. I think that's a mackerel. It's a nicer one too. Not gonna make any money off of this, but at least I'll be eating good tonight. What is this? Oh, it's a rockfish. Alright, back he goes. Gave it my all. I stayed out here longer than I anticipated, more than I was planning to. Really thought maybe I could find some fish, but I think it might be officially just a little bit too cold, too close to the winter time for these ocean halibut. So I think I have to change up my approach a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to move over into the San Francisco Bay, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do tomorrow morning. Day one, a little bit of a bust, but we'll pick it back up tomorrow morning. Hopefully get a little better luck tomorrow, so we'll see there. Hopefully better luck today. Got my heated jacket this morning, still a little chilly out here, but we're in the San Francisco Bay now, so hopefully this little change of scenery brings us some better luck. Yesterday, there's no really other way to put it, just it wasn't good. Also today, I don't have a lot of time. I have to take Olaf to the dentist to get his teeth cleaned in the afternoon, so gotta quit around 11, 12-ish to get that taken care of. So a little bit of a time crunch this morning. Got to make it happen quick, early, and often. So let's do that now. All right, 7:26. line's going in. And once again, it's been a little while since I've mentioned this, but because I have a commercial license, I'm allowed to use 2 rods here in the San Francisco Bay, but if you're a sport fisherman, like most people watching are, the limit for rods in the San Francisco Bay is 1 per person. First fish of the morning, right away. Probably haven't been down there for more than 5 or 10 minutes. I don't think this one's gonna make it. Yep, 21. All right, good start to the morning. Let's get back down there. So halibut in general, in my opinion, will feed a little bit more when it's warmer. And yeah, you could have too warm, I guess, maybe down in Southern California, but here in the Bay Area, we never have that problem. It's only too cold or it's good. So in here in the Bay, I'm noticing that the water is still quite warm compared to how it was out in the open ocean. So yesterday, my fish finder was reading like 59, 60 degrees, and right now it's reading 64, 65 degrees. So quite a bit of a temperature change there, and I'm definitely liking this warmer water better. And obviously you can see we already hooked up one this morning, you know, within the first 10-15 minutes of trolling. So obviously we just started. I don't know if it's the warm water or not that's making a huge difference, but it's definitely a good sign. That big, but never know, could be. That's a shaker. There we go. All right. Still looking for that keeper. It's a fish. Oh no, it's gone. Oh, still there. Alright, here's a fish. Yeah, got him. Got him. Got him. A little better. Alright, we got 2 shakers so far today. Hopefully this is finally our keeper. Come on. Ooh, it's close. I think that's keeper. Pretty sure that's keeper, but yeah, that looks like a keeper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a keeper. Let's say this one, we'll go on a limb and say this one's 24 and a half. Oh, what a prediction. That is like exactly 24 and a half. Well, caught a few of these, so I guess my eye's pretty good. But finally on the board. Man, it's been a tough couple of days. A lot of nothing yesterday, and then a lot of shakers this morning. Man, this guy choked it. He really wanted that herring. This guy was hungry. So I haven't mentioned this in a little while, but this year I'm trying a challenge, trying to catch a keeper halibut in every month of the year. California halibut. So as anyone who's done any halibut fishing might predict, especially in the Bay Area, the winter months are going to be the hardest months to catch them. So right at the beginning of the year was a challenge. In January, I caught one. I believe it was the very last day of the month, or second to last day, I don't know. It was my last trip out. But I managed to catch one keeper, so that was a huge victory there. And then after that, it got easier. February's a little bit easier, March was easier, and then after that was like prime time halibut season. So that wasn't too bad. But then now, like I've mentioned a few times already, the water's starting to get colder again, and the fishing is starting to slow down, and it's gonna get tougher and tougher as the year wears on. December might be the hardest month to get one. So I might have to do a little bit of traveling in December, we'll see. But for now, we've gotten every month knocked off so far, all the way through October. It's October now. Obviously we got a keeper now in October, and now we just have 2 months left, November and December. I'll leave a little playlist down in the description of my favorite one from each month. But it's been a fun challenge, and I think it's gonna get not only increasingly difficult, but maybe increasingly more rewarding or fun as it goes on, I don't know. But anyways, that's my 2023 halibut challenge. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. A little bit of a tough fishing couple of days. Yesterday was really tough. Today, there were some fish out here. Another kayaker that I was out here with, I think they caught 5 shakers or something like that. So there was definitely fish to be caught. I got lucky, and one of my 3 fish that I caught happened to be a keeper. I did also see one other keeper. Actually, that one was a really nice fish, probably in the 30-inch range. So definitely some fish out here, but the fishing is tougher than it was a couple of months, which is to be expected. As that water cools down, fish are, I don't know if they're moving out of the bay or if they just don't eat as much, what the deal is, but it's harder to catch fish during these winter months. All right, so yeah, the fishing was a little tough. I mean, yeah, the open ocean seems to be slowing down as expected. We're getting, it's already October. The halibut fishing this year, honestly, was, I think, one of the best halibut fishing years that I've ever seen or I've ever been a part of. And so I was kind of hoping that we could still catch some fish at this time of year, but it seems like it's winding down, and I'm sure there's still some fish out there. If you try hard enough, I'm sure you can find one or two, but it's definitely not as hot as it was, kind of during the summer months. So anyways, a little bit tough, but let me just talk about my commercial fishing overall this year. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, every time I do a commercial fishing trip, I have to log my catch in this little portal that they have online, because I'm not selling to a fish distributor. It's kind of a long story, but anyways, I have a log of all of my fishing adventures, or at least the production from all those fishing adventures online. So I pulled them all up, and here's the totals for 2023. So in total, I did 19 days of commercial fishing, and that yielded me, funny how it ended up, exactly 50 halibut. And it was just over 250 pounds for the total of those 50 fish. So a little bit over a 5-pound average, which might be a little bit lower than you would expect. It's kind of lower than I would expect, but in general, I was really targeting those smaller fish because I think that they sell a little better. And in total, that yielded me $2,156. So, like I said, I'm not a full-time commercial fisherman. Obviously, I only put in 19 days out on the water. If you're a commercial fisherman full-time, I got to imagine you're going to be fishing like at least 100 days, probably more, maybe even closer to 200 days, depending on how long of a season we have. But yeah, so you can extrapolate that into the grander scheme of things if you want to see how much money I would have made if I was a full-time commercial fisherman. But then at the same time, the way that I do it is a little bit different than most commercial fishermen, so the pricing would be different and all that stuff. And at the beginning of this year, when I started doing a few trips commercially, I was kind of thinking that this would be my last year doing commercial fishing. But then since, the last few times I've been kind of finding it a little more enjoyable, and it seems like you all at home are interested in it as well. So I think I'm going to keep doing it. We'll see. But maybe next year, maybe we'll do a little bit more next year. I don't know. We'll see.
I know I already mentioned it on the water, but just want to mention one more time. It's been a pleasure meeting all of you. A special shout out to everyone who's come out to buy some fish. It's been a pleasure, and honestly, that's probably what's keeping me going. So anyways, good to be back. Got a couple of fun ideas coming up here pretty soon. A little more fishing locally, and then next week I'm going to be actually going to be fishing with a bunch of other YouTube guys, so stay tuned for that one. But anyways, thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.